time for our Friday dig into our viewer mailbag to hear what all of you have to say about the show and me, the good, the bad, the ugly. Let's start with Louie from Santa Clarita, California, who writes about a segment on the neck-and-neck results of the Pennsylvania Senate primary race and why both Dr. Oz and David McCormick are not crying voter fraud, even though they did in 2020 with the exact same rules in place. Dan, you got it wrong on the Pennsylvania primaries. First of all, it's a Republican primary, not the general election. Only Republicans vote for the candidates. The alleged fraud and miscount claims were about the general election in 2020. Yes, the same rules were in place. However, in 2020, the laws on the books were skewed, and like your guest stated, those concerns are working their way still through the courts and before the Pennsylvania Supreme Court. There are still some questions that need to be answered about how some people voted. Some votes were counted in chain of custody. P.S. Love you, Dan. Glad I found you again. Watch you every night. Your show reveals the truth that others fail to leave out. Thanks, Louie. I love a good civil disagreement. So if you have concerns and questions about how the votes were counted in chain of custody issues from 2020, then you should have the same concerns about the 2022 primaries, because nothing's changed except whether Donald Trump was on the ballot. Paul from South Chicago Heights, Illinois, says the difference in the mail-in voter process from 2020 to 2022 is that there's no solicitation of mail-in voting going on currently. In 2020, I myself received 5 requests to vote by mail. This year, I've received no requests. The only year that I received solicitations to vote by mail was in 2020, which made me wonder what was the intent. Paul is in Illinois and is getting from Pennsylvania. But anyway, yes, Pennsylvania conducted voter outreach in 2020 because it was the first time the state offered no-excuse mail voting. The plan had always been not to repeat that for subsequent elections. But there's nothing to suggest that soliciting mail-in ballots leads to any more fraud in the mail-in votes themselves. John from Newport Beach, California, comes at me from the other side. For years, I was under the impression Dan Abrams was middle of the road, but his new show reveals his true colors, just another right-wing a-hole. I'm sorry you feel that way, John. I'm pretty sure those previous 2 commenters wouldn't agree about at least about the right-wing part. Daniel from Sharon, Pennsylvania. Thank you for the excellent work you do. It's a relief to hear the news and not slimy antics for ratings. It's nice to see you maintain your composure when some of your guests become complete idiots. Thank you, Daniel. Kate from Cedar Key, Florida, is furious. I dared question the enormous contract Tom Brady got with Fox Sports. You're so wrong about Brady. He'd never accept a contract he can't fulfill. America wants to see this positive spirit. Now you're doing this for ratings, and I enjoyed you. What does that mean? He'd never accept a contract he can't fulfill. My question was how risky it was to bet $375 million on a guy who's never done any color commentating before. I love the GOAT. I just don't know that he's worth anything like that as a commentator. Lee from Parkville, Maryland. Just want to take a minute to say thank you for your show. I never miss an episode. My almost 3-year-old daughter falls asleep to you when I watch. You're very calming to her. You're honest and fair, and don't force your opinion on your watchers. It's very refreshing. Keep up the good work. Thanks so much, Lee, but I am concerned when you tell me that anyone is falling asleep when they watch the show each night, even a 3-year-old. Joy from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, writes in about the segment where I advocated for members of the news media to be more transparent about their biases and stop pretending that they're just neutral. She says, basically, I feel like you think it's okay for them to interject their opinions into their jobs because they can't help themselves. As a nurse, would you feel that it's appropriate for me to withhold care or alter my care for a person in a situation where I strongly disagree? Can I choose to not care for the overdose victim because I feel strongly that they should not do drugs? Can I show bias for a person that's overweight and doesn't care for themselves because that offends me? When we have a job that impacts the public, then we must stay neutral. Very interesting point, Joy. But I think the media is different. It's not just about doing a job. The bias can and does seep in small ways, in a way that isn't comparable to another job like being a nurse, where you either just have to do it or not. To me, those undisclosed biases are the most dangerous. Glenn and Lori from Jacksonville, Florida, write, Hi, Dan. We make time every night to watch your show and enjoy how issues are examined from both sides of the political spectrum. Especially enjoy the much-needed spotlight on the difficult and dangerous job of being a police officer. Keep up the good work. Thanks, guys. Wayne from Makawao, Hawaii writes in about a segment I did on political grandstanding on the baby formula shortage. I argued it's maddening that politicians and the partisan media are playing the blame game. Wayne had a slightly different issue. Quote, Dan, maybe you haven't been informed or maybe your people are keeping the truth from you. So why is there a stockpile of baby formula at the border? Once again, illegals are getting priority over hardworking Americans. I think you're referring to the photos purportedly showing warehouses at the border stocked with baby formula. Now, while other photos show empty store shelves in the other parts of the country. Look, Wayne, some of those pictures weren't even actual baby formula. But there is formula there, no doubt about it. And there has been there because federal agencies are required by law to provide sufficient food and water to detained immigrants. And yes, in this case, that includes infants. It would be illegal for the feds not to do that. Mark from Roseville has a different take on that segment. Your segment on baby formula also points out the failure of government without political leanings. NewsNation is getting to be just about the only news source I can trust anymore, at least on a national scale. And thanks for your continued support of law enforcement, a subject that puts us totally on the same page. Mark, thank you. Sheila from Colchester, Connecticut is annoyed with me. She writes, it is extremely frustrating trying to listen to you. You spend way too much time justifying how you're trying to be a moderate in the middle. You ironically make the same mistake that you claim partisans make in identifying with issues and thereby politicize every issue you bring up by making it more about your being even-handed than getting to the heart and truth of the issue at hand. So I give up. I'm sorry to hear that, Sheila. Come on, don't give up yet. All right? Marilyn from Leominster, Massachusetts is more upbeat. I really love your show. When I recommend Dan Abrams Live to my friends, I especially recommend it because of how you intentionally have guests that disagree with your view. Thank you, Marilyn. And I think you can see that we also do it with the viewer mail as well. Paul from Alexandria, Kentucky. Dan, you continue to treat Fox News with kid gloves. Do they have a pee-pee tape on you? You constantly preach that you're middle-minded politically, but you better be careful because if you lean any more to the right, you're going to fall down. What pee-pee tape? What are you talking about? Why are you saying that? Finally, Judy from Fremont, California. First of all, I really enjoy your show. I like the show is trying to position itself above the cable news frenzy as you discuss important issues. I would like you to sharpen your coverage of police. I agree that the police have dangerous jobs. I've learned a lot from the video highlights that you have. Could you also cover how police departments are reviewing their policies to ensure that the bad apples and bad procedures are removed? The reason I'm asking is that I trust you to review the issue in an objective manner, and frankly, I don't trust the other networks to do so without catering to their agendas. That is a great idea, Judy, and we're going to do it in an upcoming episode. Thank you for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.